Many people have questions about religion in the Middle East, about the role it plays, the major religions in the region, why they're so prominent in people's lives, and why religion extremism can lead to terrorism. First off, let's define what a religion is. The world is full of religions and religious sects. Some people claim that which religion you belong to has to do with your background, while others see it as a matter of personal faith. The Middle East, like all places that allow any kind of religious freedom, has a wide array of religions practiced in it, from Judaism to Hinduism to Christianity, Buddhism, and of course Islam. With that being said, only 3 religions were created here, and thereby caused the most debate here. Some scholars would disagree with the statement I'm about to make, considering that Hinduism started in India about 1,000 years before any other monotheistic religion started anywhere else. Yet it could be said that monotheistic religions are a mainly Middle Eastern idea. And to be a monotheistic religion means to only have one God. Prior to and during the formation of the concept of monotheistic religions, there were pagan religions which worshipped multiple gods, such as the Greeks, Romans, and Egyptians. These gods had power of the elements of human life. Fire, sun, earth, water, wind, ice, darkness, light, death, wisdom, the crops, the list goes on and on. Anything that could not be explained at the time was given a deity to control it. Yet, around 2000 BC, a man that would forever change the world was born, Abraham. Abraham was the first man, at least in the Middle East, to believe in one God. He felt that all the splendors of the world weren't controlled independently, but were all interwoven. They fed into each other. Sure, everything is unique, but everything is also connected, and being connected and interwoven only needs one all-powerful deity to control it. Now that concept grew and spread and eventually became known as Judaism. Now, Jews have always been a minority in their beliefs. They were put down by the Egyptians and the Romans, who only saw them as a cult more than an actual accredited religion. They were never a powerful force able to spread their message on a large scale, just only within their sphere of influence. Yet Judaism was the religion of a man who is most likely the most influential man in history, Jesus Christ. Jesus was born a Jew and died a Jew. Jesus never set out to start his own religion. He never proclaimed to be the Son of God. That was all the work of his followers. Jesus' followers, or apostles, spread his, at the time, what was thought to be a radical and occultic message and view of Judaism to the known world. The religion that spawned from his legacy is known as Christianity. Fast forward 600 years to the birth of Muhammad in what is now Saudi Arabia. Muhammad began preaching a whole new religion with Judeo-Christian roots. Seeing Abraham as the father of their people, just like Jews and Christians do, he professed a new mystical religion that, unlike its counterparts, attempted to fuse faith and science. Has anyone ever heard of the stories of Isaac and Ishmael? It's pretty simple. Abraham had 2 sons, one from his wife Sarah and one from his mistress Hagar. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. Abraham desperately wanted a son, someone to carry on his legacy. So he asked God to grant him a son, and God promised him that, in time, he would get his son with his wife Sarah. Increasing in age and impatience, Abraham decided to have a son with his mistress Hagar. His firstborn son is called Ishmael. Ishmael is the apple of his father's eye, until the one day God finally made good on his promise to bear him a son through Sarah. Baby Isaac was born, and instantly became Abraham's golden boy. Ishmael is so upset, lost, and forgotten that he runs away and starts a new tribe. So from that day forth, 2 nations inhabited the Middle East. The Israelites, or the followers of Isaac, and the Ishmaelites, or what we call Arabs, the followers of Ishmael. Eventually, the story becomes one of the founding principles of hate between Arabs and Jews. It may sound hard to believe, but thousands of years of hate all started as something as petty as sibling rivalry. Islam was the first, pardon the pun, agnostic religion. Rather than seeing religion and faith as the end-all be-all of existence, it saw faith as the why and the science as the how. Islam pushes for its followers to seek worldly knowledge alongside their exploration into secular faith. This is why the Arabs were so far ahead in math and science during the Dark Ages than the Europeans were. Earlier, I had stated that Islam is a Judeo-Christian religion. We have the Judeo part, with the belief that Abraham is the father of their people. But where does Christ come in? Well, Muslims see Jesus as a very important prophet of divine being. They don't see him as the Son of God, but he's the first powerful messenger for peace. Each of these religions have separate sub-religions, known as sects. This is where you get your Hasidic Jews, born-again Christians, and different Sunni, Shiite, Shia, and Sufi sects of Islam. The best way I can describe Sunni, Shiites, Shias, and Sufis is to look at them through a Christian point of view. Shiites and Shias are the Catholics of the Muslim world. They have a strict, unwavering religious view, and have many of the same distastes for topics such as homosexuality and abortion as the Catholic Church does. Sunnis are the Protestants of the Muslim world. They make up the majority of the population and have a lax view on religion. That doesn't mean that it's not important to them, but they don't have some of the same grievances with society as some of the other sects do. Sufis are the Amish of the Muslim world. They're peaceful, stay away from technology, and their greatest aspiration is to bring the glory of paradise to earth. In a sense, every religion has a sect of religious extremists. Well, what makes a person or group a religious extremist? It's in the phrase. Any person or group that has an interpretation of a mainstream religion that takes it to extreme lengths. They can be found in every religion on earth. Now, this isn't always a bad thing, despite what the media may want you to believe. First off, let's feed into our notion of what a religious extremist is. They're usually Islamic extremists, known as jihadists or terrorists. They work for Al-Qaeda or the Taliban, and are especially fond of blowing themselves up in large populated areas. Well, like I said, religious extremists can be found in every religion on earth. Well, if Islam terrorists are what we think of when we think of religious extremists, what would be their Christian counterpart? Drum roll, please. And the winner is abortion clinic bombers. People that bomb abortion clinics are usually Christians, right-to-lifers that take an extreme view on the passage eye for an eye in the Bible. They feel that if you kill a poor, defenseless fetus, then you too deserve to die, when you are unable to defend yourself. Which would be, while you're at work in an abortion clinic. What's with all the death and destruction that comes with extremism? I had said that religious extremism isn't always a bad thing. Does that mean that I'm just sick and enjoy watching things blow up and lots of defenseless people dying? No. So, who would qualify as a peaceful religious extremist? One of my favorite quotes on the topic comes from Robin Williams. Remember, the Amish are religious extremists, but you don't see them hijacking carriages at needlepoint. This is true. Amish are religious extremists. They're Christians that take a very literal translation of the Bible. The Amish take that quote from God in the book of Genesis about women giving birth in pain and men having to work by the sweat of their brow, quite literally. They refuse to work with any kind of machinery that isn't a simple tool that uses only human power to drive it, like a shovel. They don't use electricity or gas or even steam power. They don't even use bikes with gears because the gears are mechanical enhancement. Now, like Robin Williams' quote says, you don't see them hijacking carriages at needlepoint. They're a peaceful religious extremist group. The same can be said of the Sufi sect of Islam. Followers of Sufism are often compared to Buddhist monks due to their striving for world peace.